All right, well, we're just going to go ahead and get started. And I know it's 8 on the dot, but I know your time is precious and I don't want to waste it. And so I'm so excited to see so many faces on here. My name is Kylie Cooper, for those of you that I don't know. I'm one of the coaches, founding coaches of our team, and I'm running this with a couple other coaches. So I myself have been coaching for 3.5 years, but I'm going to share my story in a little bit. So I'm so excited to see all of these faces, and I loved getting all the notifications for people wanting to join the group today. Like, it's exciting. And this is, I can't say it enough. Like, this is the best time to join as a coach. Like, it's just it. And we're going to talk about that at the end. So again, I'm not going to talk about that right now, but I just want to plug that little seed in your mind right now that this is the best time. So I'm going to throw it to Andrea, and she is going to start and share her story, and take it away, girlfriend.
Sounds good. So some of you on here know me. I see a few faces that I'm pretty excited to see right now. So I'm Andrea Sievertson. Some of you know me from Instagram, probably most of all of you. I've been doing Beachbody since August 2016. So I started as a sophomore in college after I had went into college, scared of the freshman 15, lost 15 pounds in like a month, really unhealthy, and then started partying, lost myself, gained 22 in addition, and was super unhappy. I actually told my coach no for 4 months straight before I joined, so that's a fun fact for a lot of people. They're like, oh my gosh, I would have never thought that. So my first program was Country Heat. If you don't know what it is, it's a country line dance workout program. Exciting. I didn't think it would work, and I was like, I'm not going to lose weight or get in shape from dancing, and 30 days in, I was like 8 pounds lighter, felt amazing, absolutely incredible. So I stuck with it, did another round, and started going into programs. And then I decided, I was like, I'm going to share one post on social media and see what happens. Like, just proud of myself. I had guns, and I was like, oh my gosh, I did this from dancing, guys. Look at this. And I kind of want to document it for myself. People started asking what I was doing, and I had no idea that, like, I could coach. I was like, I'm a sophomore in college, 20 years old. This is not going to be a thing. Well, it started. I didn't even really tell my coach, and I just jumped in. So it was kind of slow, didn't know what I was doing off the bat, and then January it really took off, which is why this is the most like precious time to join, because everybody's doing New Year's resolutions. Everybody wants to drop that weight, you know. So I really started coaching and diving into building a team, and it has completely changed my life. So my 2-year coach anniversary was last month, so it's officially been 2 years. I was very part-time in college, just kind of paying for my rent and groceries and stuff like that, and it was awesome to have my like Shakeology and Energize and Recover and all those amazing stuff and products all paid for. I never thought it would turn into something more. So I just had a small team doing my own thing, just helping other girls through social media and all of that. And all of a sudden I got an email one day that I had qualified for a trip to go to Mexico for free, and I could take one guest. I didn't even know that this was an option to qualify for this type of thing. And I was like, holy crap, I'm 20 years old and I get to take my own mom on a vacation to Mexico for free. So that was kind of my turning point where I was like, this is not just some little thing that I can stay super fit and healthy with and help a few people along the way. This is something I can turn into a business and really grow as a person, as, you know, an individual. So ever since that, I kind of been pushing really hard. I graduated in May. And I started a full-time job, my first full-time job. I was really excited. I was going to sell feed and do all kinds of stuff with cattle. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that it actually was not what it was supposed to be. I was not treated very well. I was basically told to wear really tight and revealing clothing to get customers, and that was not going to be up my alley. So I took the leap of faith in August and literally went full-time coaching out of nowhere. I was like, I don't know how this is going to go. I'm probably going to have to find another job. Well, here I am 3 months later. It's still working out. I really put in the work, and I've just been pushing on myself and working on myself and helping others and just growing and sharing my story on social media every day. I never thought it would turn into this. And ever since then, I've done so much. So I qualified to be in a test group for Sean T's brand new program that is releasing in January. So I just went through my first round of that. I'm on round 2. I've helped 200 women in the past 2 years. I counted the other day, it's like 203 now. So that's really exciting that a small town girl from Minnesota who is now 22 years old has done that. So it's really crazy what your story on social media can do and how many people you can impact with just sharing the little tidbits of your life every single day. So that's kind of my story, my jazz right now. So
Awesome. Thank you. All right, Jordan, we're going to toss it to you. Are you ready? Are you excited?
I had to mute myself. Hi, I'm Jordan, and I started coaching only about a month and a half ago, but I've been in Beachbody for on and off for a year. I actually started Beachbody right after my daughter was born, and that was kind of a leap of faith. I had been going to my Anytime Fitness gym and had a personal trainer all throughout my last pregnancy, and I thought that was really great, even though I only met with her once a week. And then when I came off of that 6 weeks postpartum and I could start working out again, I found out that my trainer actually moved and there was no trainer anymore. And so I had been contacted actually multiple times by Kylie throughout the last probably 2 years. And every single time I had turned her down. And then eventually when my trainer left, I kind of decided I was going to give Beachbody a try. And I ended up actually signing up under a different coach in my church at the time. And that was, an interesting combination and an interesting dynamic. But I continued to follow Kylie's posts throughout that whole probably like an 8-9 month stretch there. And just in September, this last month, I had this summer was horrible and I really got away from my own fitness and I really let a lot of like doubt and negative stuff come into our life, and we had a lot of transitions this summer. So I had been really, really considering coaching and really thinking about it as a way to kind of bring in an extra income without having to leave my home and my babies and my husband after my full-time job every night. And so that was weighing on me a lot this summer. And I knew I wanted to get back into my own fitness. I knew I needed to do this for me. And I just kind of thought it was something that could never hurt me. It could just make it better. And so I actually wrestled with that idea, and I ended up reaching out to Kylie instead of my coach because I connected to her story so much more, and I connected to her journey and when she was working full time and still coaching. And I just knew that if I needed to do this, I needed a mentor who got me and knew what I was going through. And so I contacted Kylie and I had talked to my coach and we sat down and we really just kind of decided this was the best path for me. And I decided to switch to Kylie as my coach and then start coaching. And I jumped in without knowing really what was going on or what to do. I got an Instagram after like literally however many years I've been on social media, and that was nerve-wracking. So all new things, all good things. But I was really surprised by how well it took off, and I ended up hitting Success Club in the first month, and I ended up at Emerald rank in the first month. And then just yesterday or 2 days ago, I hit my Success Club for this month, and I kept my Emerald rank. And I'm 1 month closer to getting my ticket reimbursed for Coach Summit, which I did sign up for on another leap of faith. And I'm just kind of winging it. Honestly, I'm just kind of pushing through, and I'm pushing to kind of keep setting those goals and making them realistic. And I just really want to reach those incentives, and I want to grow this. And my biggest like goals and my biggest reason for this change right now is that we have a lot of student loans. We have a lot of different things that have been a stressor this last summer, from my husband going from a full-time job with a salary to running his own business. And so the startup from running your own business is just, wow, yeah, it's a process and you don't really know how to prepare for it. So anything that I can do that helps us out financially, but also gives me that sense of accomplishment, but it's also an accountability too. I really felt that that's been a great thing, and it's really helped me balance out my own life in a lot of ways too. So it's really been a good 2 months so far, and I only see good things coming from it moving forward.
Thanks, Jordan. Oh, she's so right. Like, she just took a leap of faith and just like trusted the process and just continued to share her story. And she's had a lot of success right out the gate. So I'm glad she was able to jump on and share with you guys tonight, because I think it's important for you to kind of understand too and see, like, there is a lot of potential. And it's easy to look at Andrea, who's been coaching 2 years, and and, you know, just have all these ideas of, oh, well, she's been doing it for a while. Like it's easier for her or that kind of thing. But so I'm glad Jordan was able to share with you just kind of from that beginning standpoint. And some of those things that she was talking about, Success Club and Coach Summit, like those are things that once you decide to join and become a coach, we'll talk more about that. But basically, she has already like hit these milestones of helping 3 people each month. She made back her investment right away. She signed up a couple people and gave herself a rank advancement, so that way she's not just earning on commission, she's earning from like the team standpoint and everything, and all within like the first month. So that's crazy. So yeah, she hit Success Club, so helped 3 people already in November, and then if she does that in December, she gets her ticket to Summit completely paid for, and cash, travel cash too this year. So awesome. All right, so let me share my story. So I've been coaching, like I said, for 3.5 years. I am right now a mom of 3. At the time when I first started with Beachbody, I was about 5-6 months postpartum with my first child. And some of you, I know, some of you are moms, some of you aren't moms, but like you'll find out someday, like after you have that first child, like everything changes, like your whole life just changes. And I remember like just sitting there being like, is this my life? Like I used to go to the gym all the time. I used to teach group fitness classes, like all of this stuff. And I just felt lost. I was literally like just running on fumes, going to work, teaching full time, trying to take care of a baby and my husband and my house and cooking and cleaning and all this stuff. And I was just so burnt out on life. And it was a Friday afternoon, and on Fridays you can wear jeans at most schools. And I had just try to fit into the jeans, like those pair of jeans that are always your comfy jeans. They always fit you no matter what. And I remembered like putting them on and I was like, oh, and I put on a tank top and then another tank top and then a t-shirt and then my sweatshirt. And I still was like uncomfortable in my jeans. And I hated that feeling. And it was such a God thing, a universe thing, whatever you want to call it. But that day at about 2:00, my coach sent me a Facebook message on my prep period. Don't know how she knew it was my prep. And she's like, hey, do you want to join this mom bod boot camp type thing? And I was like, oh, all right, they'll tell me more. At the time, I was still teaching group fitness classes, but I had no handle on my nutrition. Like I was breastfeeding. And so I thought, oh, you can eat anything when you breastfeed and you won't gain any weight. Like that's just how it works, right? False. Like that's not true. So I was excited to have some workouts I could do at home because I had a 6-month-old and it was impossible to get to the gym. I was excited for the nutrition standpoint to kind of maybe have a kind of plan I could follow and just something to keep me accountable and keep me on track. I was really excited for that. That was probably, besides just being able to do workouts at home, that was probably what I was most excited about. And so I jumped in. I did 21 Day Fix was my first program. I full out committed. I made my meal plan every single day for those 3 weeks. I didn't have a single cheat. I stuck to my nutrition completely, worked out every day, and I lost 10 pounds and 10 inches in those 3 weeks. And I just remember feeling on top of the world. I was like, oh my gosh, I finally started to see like the old me before I had kids. And then my confidence started to come back and all these kind of things. And so I went from 21 Day Fix. I did that a couple times and I did another program. And all this while my coach was messaging me and she's like, you need to be a coach. Like you're showing up in the challenge group, you're doing all these things. She's like, you need to coach. And I was like, oh no, like I just want to focus on me. I have a baby, like blah, 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 all the things we tell ourselves, like, I'm not at my goal weight, I'm not where I want to be, like, all of these just excuses, really, were just running around in my head, and I was telling them to her. And so it was in July of 2015 when my coach went to this summit event that Jordan was talking about. It's our annual conference, and I saw my coach at Summit, and she was out to eat and got placed at a table and got a picture with my idol for life, Danielle Natoni. And so I remember I was laying in bed in Iowa, middle of July, and I'm like, she's with Danielle freaking Natoni. And I'm just hanging out here in my bed in Iowa, like, why am I not coaching? And so I stalked her Facebook, and as soon as she got home, I sent her a message, and I'm like, okay, I'm in. Like, I'm so in. I'm coaching. I'd already made my list. I made my coming out post. Like, I posted it, and it just I haven't stopped since that day. And so again, like I had a lot of success in the beginning. Life has had a lot of ups and downs since then. Like I said, it's been 3.5 years. It really wasn't until I was pregnant with my second child that I was at a new school, I was at a new teaching job, and then my husband started to have a lot of health issues, and so he was kind of in and out in the hospital, and it just really wore me out. Like I felt like I couldn't be a wife, be a mom, be a teacher, be a coach, like all of these things all at the same time. I just felt like I couldn't do it all. And so I knew something had to give. And my husband and I had a really big heart to heart. And he's like, you know, what makes you the happiest is when you're coaching. Like when you're sitting at your computer, sending them messages, talking to your coaches, engaging with your challengers. He's like, you don't feel that way about school anymore. And it's like, I knew that, but for him to say that, for him to see that, I was like, yep, you're right. So we made that decision for me to walk away from teaching, walk away from the classroom. And that was in the fall of the spring of 2017. So I decided to stay home, had my whole summer, like got used to mom life and work at home and like all this kind of thing and getting our routine down. And one thing I just want to share, like about this opportunity, it wasn't about, at this point in our life, it wasn't about the money. It wasn't about how many women I was helping. It wasn't about being with my kids. In last fall, so it's been a little over a year, we had a very significant death in our family. And it was almost like I lost a brother. It was a cousin of mine, but my family is very, very close. And I was able to be with my family for 2 to 3 weeks. I didn't have to ask for any time off. I didn't have to use sick time or paid leave or any of that kind of thing. I could just go and be where my family needed me to be for them, and I still got paid the same. Like my income didn't dip. I didn't have to take personal days, sick days, yada, yada, yada. And to me, that made every sacrifice, every late night, every no, every setback worth it to be able to be there for my family. And so I just want you to know that it's more than just like posting your sweaty selfies on Facebook, and it's more than just, or Instagram or whatever. And it's more than just drinking a shake and following a meal plan. Like this has the potential to change your life. And not saying that that means that you're going to quit your job tomorrow and become a Beachbody coach and like everything's going to change in that second. But whatever you want to accomplish can happen because of this. And like, it can just open so many doors for you. And I know for Andrea and other coaches on the team, like it's made me dream. It's made me think like there's more to life than just clocking in, clocking out. And it's made my husband think that too. And like all these things, there's just so much possibility there. But I do want to say the biggest reason I started coaching was because I wanted another stream of income, but I didn't want to be away from my daughter any longer. And so this just was kind of the perfect thing. I could work during nap time. I could work when she went to bed. I could work during my lunch hour and all those kind of things. And so really my biggest goal was just to pay off my student loans. I wanted to double my payments. I wanted to get that done. And I did it within a year, 2 years of coaching. I did that. So I was like 10 years below or above the average of paying off my student loans. So I never started with the intention of wanting to retire from teaching and wanting to be a stay-at-home mom. Like that was never my intention. It just happened that way. So that's my story. That's what I wanted to share. So before we go to questions, Andrea and I are both going to share just a few more things. And then if you do have questions and you want to put them in the chat, if you don't want to unmute or you want to just have those out there so that way we can answer them too. But we're just going to share a little bit about like what kind of happens when you sign up as a coach and just why now is like the best time. So I'll turn it to you.
Okay, so one thing I'm going to say, and I've said this to one of the people on here, and she's going to laugh when I say this, is if this scares you and it makes you really uncomfortable to think about pursuing this, that's the whole reason you should do it. You need to be uncomfortable or get comfortable with being uncomfortable because that's how you're really going to move forward. I never in a million years thought I'd be here. I was like, this is going to be some random part-time thing that I'll do for a month. Well, 2 years later, here I am hanging out, you know? So when you sign up and you make this decision, obviously right now, like challenge pack sales, like your starter kit is already $20 off. And Monday, there's even more surprises coming your way. So this is a really good time to do it. So that investment in you is even less than it normally would be. And literally our goal as like your coach, whoever you sign up with, our goal is to make that investment back in your first month. And it only takes 2 to 3 people of your friends, your family, whatever, that you get started on the journey with you that you get your investment back. That is incredible. And that's something I never thought possible. When I got my first like $30 paycheck, I was like, what? Didn't even know this was a thing. So it is possible. And then the other thing is the accountability that you get for yourself to really work on yourself is my absolute favorite part. I would not still be working out. I would not still be like eating healthy, doing all that if I wasn't held accountable by my coaching family, my challengers, like all of you guys watching our stories and everything all the time. So if you are scared of like what social media is like, if you don't know like how you're going to do with this, how any of it works, how to post, how to, post stories, how to even attract people or share any of it, you get all the training. So you could literally know 0 things about Instagram, about Facebook, about any of it. You don't need any experience. You can be anywhere in life and figure it out because we have training that we are going to do with you guys. I know I'm starting a new coach mentorship program this next week on like Wednesday. We're going to open it up, I think, for me. I know Kylie has one they can roll into, and that's kind of something I'm constantly working with is like the continued education basically for my team. That way they don't feel like they're alone. So you're not in this like by yourself. I constantly am helping my girls and helping like our whole team. We're all constantly have a message board going if you don't know how to do something. And if you want to learn more about like specific how to like rock Instagram stories or some random little tidbit of a business, there you go. You literally can know absolutely nothing and learn it all within a couple weeks. And there's trainings for everything available, no matter what it is. So don't feel like you have to come in knowing exactly what's going on because you will learn so much without even like realizing it. So it's kind of my jazz. And to Kylie.
Yeah, definitely. And that's a lot of what we do in the training is like talking about, we call them your vital behaviors. So the things that you need to do every single day just to be successful. And it's not hard. It literally, that time always comes up. And honestly, like I tell new coaches that want to join and that think they're busy, it's an hour. Like if you can give an hour a day broken up throughout the time of your day. Like I just told some of my new coaches last night on our call, I was like, one of the tasks you could literally do while you're taking your morning, you know what, like in the bathroom, like that's how complicated it is. If you have this, like you can go from anywhere. And so I challenge you like tonight, tomorrow, when you're kind of like, should I coach? Should I not? Please take notice of how many times you're randomly like on your phone like this, because I guarantee you this time you're spending watching Andrea's stories and watching me vent about my crappy day, like you could have, done 15 minutes of your work. Okay. So just think about that, because I catch myself doing that too. I'm like, wow, I just wasted time watching this, but that's part of it. And so yes, we train you, we help you. We're still learning, we're still falling forward all the time. And that's just how you learn. And so that's just how you grow. So a couple things that I want to talk about. We are doing team-wide, and not a lot of people know this yet. So some of you might be like the early birds to this game. The early bird gets the worm. But we are doing a flash sale on Monday and Tuesday, kind of a pre-Thanksgiving, pre-Black Friday. So like Andrea said, all the challenge packs are on insane discounts this month anyways. You guys, when I signed up as a coach 3.5 years ago, I paid $160 and I got 21 Day Fix DVDs. I got one program, and you get access to like 60 programs. You get access to new ones, like the old ones, the current ones, etc. For $140 is the cheapest way you can sign up. So basically that's like $10 when you take into consideration the cost of everything else. So think about that. I started with one program for $160, but we're going to do some additional sales and chances to win some extra prizes. Like we're giving away pumpkin spice Shakeology, beach bars, Energize, all those good things. And then you have a chance to win a $100 gift card as well. So not only could you start your business, but you could walk away with other prizes and a gift card and all those kind of things. Okay. So make sure you reach out to whoever invited you, or we'll drop the link. I can drop the link in our, in our Facebook group too, so you guys can join it there. But we're going to start that. And then like Andrea said, it just kind of depends on the training when we start that. But really, like, don't wait for training to start. Like, you could literally start tonight if you wanted to. But we're going to have that sale. And then one thing that we're really going to focus on in December is a cash for Christmas type of thing. And so what we want to do is help you, like Andrea said, make back that investment, but also like Christmas is coming. Like how amazing would it be to earn $500 between now and Christmas and pay cash for all those presents? Like pay and not have to worry in January about how you're going to pay off that credit card and all those things. And so that's kind of moving forward after Thanksgiving time and Black Friday. That's really what we're going to focus on and help you get to that point if that's something that interests you and that's something, hey, leave that alone. Leave it alone. We don't need somebody electrocuted tonight. That would not be good. Gosh, now I'm all distracted. So that's one of the focuses we're going to do in December. Maybe have a little competition or a little prize with that kind of goes along with it, but it's just something fun that we do during that month of December. And January is coming. Does anybody know what comes and happens on January 1st? Anybody? So now is literally the perfect time because you start your journey, you start your fitness journey. That gives you 6 weeks to make a transformation and 6 weeks to start sharing your journey, because they say it takes somebody 8 to 10 times to see a message, see a post, see whatever. They need those many touches. And then come January 1st, you just explode. Like December, January have always been the two biggest months of my business because of the season, because of the nature of what we're in and so on. And I'm going to be completely honest, Transform 20 is coming out. And so it's going to blow up the business. Like now's the time to get in, start understanding how to post, start understanding how to invite people and get some people rolling with you. And every time a new program launches like this, now's the time. So, all right. Any questions? Anything that you guys have that we can answer for you? We'll take about 5-10 minutes, depending on how many questions there are.
I have a question.
Go for it.
You say start a business. Do you mean like marketing my own business, or is this joining your business and then creating like my own funding?
So that's a good question. So when we say business, like you're going to launch yourself as a coach. And so you as a coach, like you're going to kind of take on your own business. And when you're using the Beachbody products and the programs and the challenge packs and all of everything that Beachbody has to offer, but it's you that you're selling. Like you could go anywhere and buy Energize. You could go anywhere and buy Shakeology. But you're really the person that they're investing in, because you're going to, help them along that journey of using the programs and using the nutrition plans and holding them accountable and joining in with groups and that kind of thing. And so we do a lot of that with you in the first few months until you feel comfortable doing it yourself. But it's really when we say business, it's kind of like you as I just call myself an online health coach. Like that's what I say. Some people say an influencer. Social media is kind of changing now, so it's kind of changing how people word themselves. But it's just kind of you're using Beachbody's tools to market and brand yourself as a coach.
Understood.
Is that what you'd say, Andrea? Like, is that how you say it too?
That's what I would say. Kind of just you're using the products and you're being a product of the product, but I'm very different than Kylie. We are very different people. I'm very into agriculture and different types of things like that. So you are creating your own story. That's why it's your own business off of Beachbody, because you're affiliated with them, but you're not requiring fancy stuff. Yeah.
So it's kind of I guess you could think of it kind of like your franchise in a way.
Like a partnership.
If you need an actual business example to look at, Beachbody is the main and you're kind of opening, but I don't know if that makes sense.
Do your own thing. You can
It answered my question perfectly. I was just making sure that I was following that.
Okay, good. No, I've actually personally never had that question before, so I was like, crap, how do I explain this? So good. I'm glad I explained it right. Very good. Anybody else?
You can ask us anything. We'll share.
Don't be shy.
You can type it if you don't want to talk.
Do you have a question?
It's a pretty fun party, in
Ma'am?
case you're wondering. We're a pretty fun tribe.
You like to not shower and have dirty hair, you'll fit in just right.
We show up pretty hot mess expresses at meetings, as you can see.
Right. One thing I will say, because social media is a big part of what we do and how we brand and how we build our business and build, your income and all that stuff, is with social media and with posting. And it made me think of this because I had a coach ask me yesterday about it. It's just something that becomes a habit. Like the posting on social media, it just becomes a habit. And like you'll catch yourself like, ooh, that'd be a good post. Ooh, that would be a good picture. Like all those kind of things. And it becomes easier. So if that's something, and I think that's a lot of what stops people, is they don't want to share. What are people going to think? Oh, that makes me nervous. Like all those kind of things. But think about like an actual brick and mortar business where you see their ads, you see, everything that they're sharing in the paper or online. Like that's just kind of how you have to think of it. And so it gets easier with time. And that's where you build your credibility and your consistency. And it becomes easier over time. You just kind of have to just start with that and, 2 times a day, 3 times a day, and just kind of build that. So. Yep, I'm almost done. All right. Any other questions? Anything, you guys?
I've got one question.
Yeah.
So like when you're doing the posts on social media, like I know a lot of people say to do it on your personal page, but does that get really annoying for like people that don't want to see that? So like what's the benefit between doing it like on a personal page versus like inviting people to like a separate page?
I can take this one if you want, Kylie. Okay, so when I started, I made a different Facebook page. So if you guys want to go creep, it's really old. It's all kinds of really crappy posts back in the day. And it worked well with the Facebook algorithm, and I didn't want to annoy people. I'd share the post that I made on a different account to my own page, so people were seeing it. And I had that fear, and I was so scared of what people were going to think, thinking I was a scam artist or something like that, because I had that fear of other people, and I wasn't worrying about how I was feeling, what I was doing, helping others. So once you shift your mindset to the point that you're like, okay, I'm going to help others, and if people really don't like it, they can unfollow you on Facebook or whatever. And if they're not going to support your journey, are they people you really need in your life? You know what I mean? And you're not going to be posting 85 times a day, and the more you interact with certain people, the more they'll see it, and the algorithms are funny. But I would suggest, just because I've had new coaches that have all kind of signed up and made their own page on Instagram, you can do that your way if you want, but you need to focus on growing it. I just straight up a year ago started posting on my own Instagram, and I haven't changed. This is my That Fit Advocate page is my same Instagram I've had since 4th grade. So I really would suggest doing on the same page and putting your blinders up and being like, hey, this is me. And it's not like you're just selling products and selling something. You're helping people change their lives, and you're doing good things. You're not just selling something and then walking away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't sign you up and then just never talk to you again, right?
Yeah.
I messaged you today and I was like, did
Yeah.
you Make sense?
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
One thing too to add to that, one thing I always told myself in the beginning was when I would get nervous or, what are people going to think? Am I just going to be annoying or whatever? I just keep thinking what if my coach hadn't ever posted or hadn't reached out to me? Or I think of all the people that have signed up with me, a lot of them have signed up because they saw something I post. And so just like Andrea said, some people don't agree, some people, whatever. You build that confidence internally. And a lot of that comes from just leaning on everybody on our team and in our page and all that kind of stuff. So it happens. There's some people that just don't understand. I didn't understand it at first either until I started doing it. So
Yeah.
And honestly, bless them or release, those people are going to judge you. And straight up, when I post sometimes a transformation or something scary, I post, put my phone down and run away for a couple hours. And then I was like, oh, nothing bad happened. Nobody freaked out and yelled at me. So
Yeah.
it's not as bad as you think. Your fear is there right now. It's like a door.
Yeah.
To quote Rachel Hollis, other people's opinions are none of your business. So on that note, let's wrap up. And if you have more questions, share them in the page, message whoever invited you here if you have more questions. But if you want to ask them in the page, you're more than welcome to, because somebody else might have that question and just is too nervous to ask it as well. So I will upload this recording though. And so if you want to watch it again or have somebody that wasn't able to hop on, we'll have that shared for them. So thank you so much, you guys, for jumping on. Hopefully we kind of shared a little bit and you got some good takeaways, and see you all in the flash sale next week and see you all on the team soon. So have a good night, guys.